Good day, how you doing? Oh my goodness, like what's today's date? Today's the 22nd of April and I've waited a while before I get in touch with you, really just to see how you were going to cope, how the world was going to cope and how I was going to cope with where we're at. And I thought rather than send out an email, let me just send you a little video. It'll probably be about 4 minutes long, depends how, you know what I'm like, depends how much I ramble on, but I thought now's a really good time. We're about 4 weeks into this stupid pandemic and I thought, well, let's get in touch with you and see how you're doing and maybe give you some tips and some information and maybe a bit of a G up. So, you know, because you've gone all quiet. So let's see if I can just share a few things with you and hopefully it'll help a little bit. So the first thing to know is, let's talk about me. The first thing to know is that you are pretty much the same as all my, you know, I've got 32 clients, I think it is. Pretty much most of them, all bar about 4 or 5, have stopped their coaching for now and are doing what I would recommend. You know, they're watching their cash flow, so which is perfectly the right thing to be doing. So I'm the same as you. So Janet has all her income has stopped. The last one of her sales has gone through, and I think that for the majority of us, that's how we are. So there are a few that are flourishing. I've got a couple of clients that are absolutely having record months. I've got a company that do remote help desk, you know, IT help desk, that they've just signed up some amazing contracts. I've got a new client that does security for buildings and access, and he's absolutely having a great time too. And I've got people that work on the railways, and they're having record months too. So I've got a few, but for most of us, it's like me and you. You know, it's tough. So it's interesting. So let's put it that way. So just to put that, you know, straight, I'm in exactly the same place as you. I'm a business owner as well, and but there's lots and lots of things that I can share with you, I'm sure. But I just want to give you 3 or 4, and if we get another 4 weeks in, when we get another 4 weeks in, I'll share some more with you. And but there'll be some other things that you can do before then, which I'll share at the end. So the first thing to know is I'm not seeing your marketing. Okay, so I've not seen anything really that you're either doing or promoting to do with your product or service. So you really need to make sure that you continue to market for business, but not in a salesy way. If you've watched any of the videos I've been putting out, and if you haven't, why not? I've got a whole YouTube channel full of them. But if you watch some of those videos, certainly on the pandemic stuff, some of the things I've been saying to people is that you need to continue to market, but don't market in a salesy way, market in a helping way. So it sounds a bit strange, but just by pushing out content that is a freebie FAQ or a how-to or any kind of informational content, on a PDF, for example, with no clickbait, don't want anything in return, no emails or anything, just post it out and give it away. But if it's heavily branded, it is still marketing. You're still getting your brand out and aware in front of people, and you're being seen as somebody that's being supportive and helping through the difficult time for everybody. So it is really critical that you continue to maintain your marketing presence. And the caveat that sits underneath that is not to be doing anything different that you would, from a quantity perspective, that you wouldn't ordinarily have done. So don't go mad and start banging out stuff way more than you ever used to, for 2 reasons. One is that you'll be seen to be behaving differently, as in overtly trying to sell your stuff. And then secondly, you'll burn out. So whether that be financially you'll burn out, or physically, you know, you just won't be able to keep up because it's not something that you ordinarily did before. If it's something that you struggled to do because you were so busy before, of course there's no excuse anymore. So to get in some level of marketing up, and my challenge would be, if you manage to get a routine going with some marketing activity, and then we get back to work, or when we get back to work to normal levels, is to have embedded that in from a habit perspective, so that it just becomes part of your normal routine and it doesn't drop off again. So, right. The next one's really is just to actually in line with this whole thing around making sure your marketing message is around helping and supporting others rather than selling what you do or selling your services. This one's really is to recognise, and actually is a great way to structure your day. So if you get a piece of paper and you write 1 to 5 down a sheet of A4, and you put prospecting to customers, prospecting for customers, and information to customers as 5th on the list. That's the 5th thing that you should be doing each day, every day. And that there are 4 things that sit in front of that, 4 people that you need to help and support before you offer help and support to your customers and prospects. And then if you tick this every day, it gives you the basis of some kind of routine, and even if you've done it by lunchtime, and you can go off and do your own thing. So the first person that you should be offering help and support to at the start of every single day is yourself. And to stop and check and consciously check in with yourself, whether you're sat having a cup of tea at your desk first thing in the morning, or you're taking the dog out for a walk, whatever it might be, have a conscious awareness of where you're at. So I'll be like, me, I'm like very open and honest. Yesterday, I was exhausted yesterday. I've been doing long days, and like 5:30, 6 a.m, sometimes through till 7 p.m. And I'll only get up to go and get a drink. And I've been working tirelessly right through, and I'm starting to feel it in my back, and mentally starting to get a little bit exhausted. And I checked in with myself yesterday morning. I could feel it, that it was starting to get hard, it was becoming hard work. And yesterday afternoon, about 3-4 o'clock, I was like in a mess, like most mentally and physically. So to the extent I was having to take some painkillers and 2 very large glasses of red wine, and I felt a whole lot better afterwards. So this morning I was very conscious of how I started the day today, so checking in with myself. So it's really, really important that you check in with yourself first. And you've heard me say it before, the whole oxygen mask thing it just makes complete sense. You are better placed to serve other people if you make sure that you're okay first. So you're not doing anything selfish. On the contrary, you're being selfish by not taking care of yourself first. Right, the second person on the list that you need to make sure that you're offering help and support to is your immediate family, friends, and your cohabitants, the people that are sat around you. So really important. So make sure that you check in with those next. And ask twice. I did a video on this. It's just like, don't ask once, ask twice, because people will say, yeah, I'm fine, but actually are they? And I'm sure your spider senses will tell you whether or not somebody is actually okay. So double check in with people. I rang my son last night, and as much as I was having a conversation with him and his partner, I was looking to see whether or not he was okay. So the third person that you need to check in with is a group of people, and that's your business network. That's people like me. So your accountant, maybe somebody that looks after you from a business to business, the people that you network with. Checking in with your business network is third on the list. It's very straightforward. Email, phone call, text, however you would ordinate. Somebody asked me yesterday, what's the best way to check in with these people? I was doing a talk somewhere, not physically, online, and one of the questions that came back was how should I check in with these people? And the short answer is always communicate with people in their language. So find the methodology or the platform that you would ordinarily best communicate with those people. Some people love the phone call, some people would prefer a text message. Part of my challenge at the moment is that I've got stuff coming at me in language that I wouldn't ordinarily use. So WhatsApp, Facebook, Skype even. People have been contacting me on Skype that I wouldn't ordinarily use, and I'm forgetting to go back to people because it's not a platform I'd ordinarily use. But that's their language, so I need to stay in their language. So that's that one. The fourth person that you need to check in with before you start looking to help customers and prospects is your business. See it as an entity, so as a person or a thing. Rather than a thing. So checking in on your business, what does that actually mean? So systems, process, your web presence, so updating your Facebook banners, your LinkedIn profiles, Twitter, setting up and getting that Instagram account going that you've never been working on, Pinterest, whatever it might be. This is a great time to check in on your business and make it healthy, lean and smart. I'll give you a really simple example of something that I'm doing at the moment. Is I'm going through literally dozens of folders on my PC and getting rid of photographs and images where I've been doing stuff for clients and what have you. So I maybe even deleted some of your stuff or put it into a neat folder. So that's fourth. And then lastly on this list of 5 people that you need to help every single day is your prospects or your customers, and going out to those people on a daily basis in some way, shape or form to be seen to be offering help or support. Right, so I'm rambling on, aren't I? We're 11 minutes in. I hope you've stayed with me. So a couple of other things that might be useful to you. One of the things that I've been saying to people, which is something you would never ever be able to do, or it wouldn't be something you'd hear me say do outside of where we're at right now, is to identify 10 people that you want to be there and to be healthy and strong the other side of the pandemic. These people are really important to you. So as in, you need their support from a B2B perspective to enable you to be able to do your job to your best ability. So this could be something as formal as your bookkeeper or your accountant. It could be somebody that you network with, that is like a buddy, like a business buddy. It could be your coach, but somebody, find 10 people that you recognize and identify with, and that you want to make sure that they're sat there in the room with you when you're having your breakfast and you're out networking or whatever it might be. So, and then when you've found these or listed these 10 people, the 5 most important ones, my advice to you is to email them, ring them, or at the very least tell them, let them know that you've been thinking about how long, because this is, I genuinely think this is, we're in for the summer, and that you've identified them as being important to you, and that you want to be able to make sure that they're okay, because from a completely selfish perspective, you're going to need their help, guidance and support the other side. So in whatever form that may take. So that's 5 of the 10. The other 5 are 5 people that you need or would want their support from a delivery perspective. So for example, it might be somebody that does SEO or is a LinkedIn expert, or somebody that when we get to the other side, you're going to need their skill set, but that money is going to be tight. My advice to you is to start is not to tell them. Okay, so you've got 5 that you've told. This second 5 you don't tell them, but what you do is you start making deposits in their emotional bank. So liking their posts, sharing their posts, commenting on their posts, giving them referrals or leads where you can, certainly introductions. Just essentially just seek them out and go out of your way to do some things to make them feel special and feel, I've had a couple of emails in from a few that I've identified. I've got more than 5, but I've been tagging a few people. I've invited a few people to do some things that I recognize are important in my network. and that there may come a time when we get to the other side where I'd want to tap into their product or service, but I can't afford it. And so the idea is you load their emotional bank so that when you go to them with your cap in your hand, for argument's sake in October, and you say, I wondered if you could have a look at my website because, you know, I'd really like to tidy up the organic SEO. And they say, sure, send it over and I'll have a look, I'll do a report for you. So, and that they will do it for nothing, but also will give you a priority on that. So, you know, they'll do it quickly for you. So it's a little bit manipulative, I guess, is what my ex-partner would say. I don't call it that. I think it's influencing. You know, what you're doing is, listen, it's a straight out trade-off. So you're doing lots of nice things for them. You're just being a little bit more structured and organized as to why you're doing that. So anyway, so there you go. So keep your marketing going. Make sure that you address those 5 people that you need to help each day in that order. Find 10 people. And then lastly, we're sort of 15 minutes in, is probably the most important part of this message, is that my doors are open. So, and I probably should have put this at the start of the video. In fact, I'll probably put it in the text below. So my doors are open 24 hours a day for free for you. So this isn't for everybody, for you. So ring, text or call, or, you know, message me if you want to talk to me. So I've got a call today for 30 minutes with one of my clients who would have ordinarily had their coaching call today, and rather than just bin the call because they can't afford to pay this month, we're just going to have a half an hour catch up. So if you do want to talk through stuff and want to make sure that you're on the right track, or you're struggling, whether that be emotionally or, you know, mentally or whatever it might be, I'm saying to you now, don't sit there and worry because you've turned off the payment that you can't tap in. I'm on your bus. So it's there. My door is open all the time. So, and, you know, I want you to be there the other side. So it's really important that I want to be able to help and support you too. So, and then if you haven't seen it yet, again, I'll put a link in the email that I send you. I'm doing a 2-hour kind of seminars, I guess is what you'd call them, but online, called 50 Shades of Business, and it's free to you. So as a paying client, or as a client that would ordinarily be paying, this event is completely free for you. So and so if you do want to come and sit in and just get a little bit of, you know, you maybe even get some tips or some ideas on some things you can do, then I will, in the email that I'm sending you, I will put a code, and that will give you a ticket for free. So, but that's a code for you. So if you've got somebody else that you know desperately would benefit from being on that Zoom call, then just drop me a line and we'll see what we can do. So, right, so there you go. Marketing, 5 people that you need to look after, 10 people you need to go find, and my doors are open, and 50 Shades of Business is free to you. So just stay safe, stay upbeat and positive. I genuinely think this is an amazing time for business. Not now, but it's gonna be. And when we get to the other side, there's gonna be some ridiculously just wonderful opportunities for all of us. We just need to stay positive and upbeat. So I will send you another video. I seriously deliberately have waited until the dust has settled a little bit. You know, I turned off lots of my outgoing payments and just did nothing. I didn't contact anybody, or, you know, it was pointless getting on the phone for 8 hours, 6 hours waiting to get through to people. I waited for them to come to me, and then got into conversation about, you know, what's the best plan. So because it's just all a mess. So I deliberately have waited until the dust has settled. We now have a sense of this is kind of the norm for the time being, and so I thought this was now a good time to maybe catch up with you. So I'm sorry if I've rambled on a bit. I probably warned you. I know I did. I warned you before we started it was going to be a bit of a ramble. So hope it's useful. My door is open, and we'll speak to you again soon. So take care of yourself, stay safe. Bye for now.